Earlier today, I was talking about how to make my leech so that my Classics one would stick to walls and stuff. And a long time ago, I used some suction cup pieces and glued them on to his hands. You can see here's the leftover after I pulled them off and sanded them down a little bit. And I was going to just take and re-glue this guy's feet on there. And then I realized, the hands are almost the same shape. And so I decided instead just to replace the hands. And these are the rubber pieces that used to be part of the giant suction cup that I got. So there you go. Let me toss these in the garbage. Ugh. And so now, if you take a look, these are the original Classics hands. You can see how large the piece is there. Just set that right there. And then these are the Origins pieces, and you can see the difference is quite a bit. So what I did was I took this heat shrink tubing, this little small black one right here. Hey Don BB, thanks for joining me. And I just slid that right over the top. And then I cut it off, heated it up, and melted it on there. And then I took this next heat shrink tubing, which is just a little bit larger, and then I shrunk and put that on top too. And those two together was enough to bring this up the size to the right size for these suction cup pieces right there. So then I went ahead and heated it up and stuck them on there. And I got those tubes stuck together. Oh, probably not the smartest idea to show you how I did it by stuffing them together. Let's see if I can't get them apart. There we go. Whew. All right. So again, I use the small one and the next size up for the heat shrink tubing, and that works pretty well. Let's see if we have the sizes on here. I don't see if it has. That's the degrees. I wonder if somehow in that code it tells you what, maybe the G5 stands for, what it stands for, the diameter. Let's see this small one here. Focus, focus. This also says G5, so it's not that. So I'm not sure. Maybe the 2.5 is the diameter. Maybe it's in centimeters or something. Oh well. Anyway. Hey Mike. So, now that I have these on here, my only problem is they are the wrong color. So now it's time to paint them. I don't even put this guy's legs back together. So let's go ahead and stick him back together first. There we go. And let's take a look at some possible paint colors. So a couple ways I was thinking of going was, one, I could use this right here, which is a clear wash. And if I was to use like a brown, a light with a little light water mix with it, it might work pretty good. Like the skin wash right here might be enough to change the green to that more olive color by adding a brown to it. Or I can bust out my new green paints, the ones that I bought just to do Cringer's head, because he's still not painted yet, and use those and figure out I can see if any greens match. So let's take a look at these first. These goblin orc colors. There's kind of a weird kind of green. Yep, it was hot today where I was at. Probably not as hot as you guys were. These have sat too long. It's hard to tell what color it is because one side is light and one side is dark. So it's going to be kind of fun to mix it up. Let's see, they call this goblin green. Yeah, I'm guessing it's this tone right here. And that looks about the right skin tone according to the box. So we'll mix this up and we'll see if it really is that color. And if it is, then that will be our solution. That will be really easy. So hopefully when it comes out of this bottle, we'll have both colors mixed together. It looks like just the light came out instead of the dark. Now when you paint, as you guys know, it always comes out a little darker than what it started as. So let's go ahead and do a paint on this guy. See how he comes out. This is horrible lighting in here. Let me use my light ring, see if it helps. Ooh. There we go, that's better. And I'm going to leave the actual ring itself the same color. I'm just going to paint his fingers on here only. So I figured the actual ring part can be a different color, a different shade. And again, this is supposed to darken up. Hopefully it will. It's funny, I didn't actually wash this like I tell everybody else, the alcohol wash and everything else. So we'll see how well this sticks. I know it's really important and I skipped that step. I washed the other parts so the glue would adhere. But then when I changed my mind, I didn't go back and wash these off. So I may have to go back. We'll see. We'll put a few coats on and see how it matches. Oops. Sorry, Jinx. I got paint on your floor. Oh. Jinx is like, man, dude. You're already ruining my floor. All right. It's a pain enough to paint this alone, but to also make sure it's in camera view is a double pain. Double window pane. See, if I was smart, I would pull it off and paint it. Then I'd have a whole lot more control. I'll probably have to pull it off in order to do the clear coat later. I think that's looking pretty good. Now for you guys got a nice big screen view of this. I just have these little parts here in my hand. So you probably see me making errors better than I can. All right. Okay, so there is one complete. We'll let it dry and see how it looks. Just trying to get the tip of this finger. The tip of the finger, man. Should have grabbed my better glasses so I could see what I'm doing. All right. Ah, my brush keeps hitting the camera. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. All right. I think that green is a whole lot closer matching. All right, I'm going to get your guys' comments while it sits for a minute. And then I will do the other hand. Hey, only 10 minutes late, yep. Actually, I've not been in the lounge lately, Mike. I went there just to give someone access, and that was it. I'll have to check it out later. He does kind of remind me of a dragon. Good call there, Sparkle Wolf 404. David says, yeah, that has to be the thing now. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does look like the Hulk, doesn't it? Which is funny. I think I saw someone online use the same paint to paint their Hulk. So, all right. Dawn88, we shall see. I'm afraid they're going to crack too. That's why I wanted to go with the clear. But I'll try this first. If it does crack, then I will wash it off and try something else. So that pretty much has been my mode of everything, is trial and error. And so we'll just try this first. If it doesn't work, try again. Okay, put this arm down, put this arm up. Oh, it's out of view. Sorry, you guys. I don't know how well I can keep this one in view or not. There we go. Should have got someone else to do my camera for me. Just like before, it's going to take a couple coats in order for it to coat this fully. That's why I'm not going to paint the actual ring itself, to give it more chance of not cracking off. I know if I paint the ring, it's going to definitely crack. So I'm going to avoid painting the ring. Alright, one last finger to go, then I'll go back and do some more coats on the other one to make it so it's a little bit more visible. paintbrush keeps hitting the camera. All right. Let's go back and paint this finger again. That's looking pretty cool. I still in the frame. One finger is giving me problems. All right, let's take a look and see. This side's darkened a little bit already. It's still a little light, but I think it does match the tone better. So I'm not sure I'm going to leave it or not. I may go back and use something else to darken on it a little bit. But I think that does look better. I mean, yeah, it's not nearly as cool as the actual real Classics is, but it still looks better than what it did a minute ago. And I think the problem was the paint just did not mix. You had to get one of those little shakers they have to mix this better. I don't think it just had quite enough brown in it. All right. I'm going to go wash my paintbrush. You guys could admire the back of this figure. If you want, you can check out those paints too. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's clean off that spot that I made on Jink's floor. There we go. There you go, Jinx. If you're watching, good as new. All right. Cool, cool. Now we can have some suction power. Ooh. And we'll see how it dries. This paint should be a little more rubbery than I usually use, so we'll see. I'll just keep this lid on this one in case I need to use more, but perfect, no, better, yes. Now the cool part is I could still swap out his hands to these ones here. I didn't actually destroy the figure by taking these off, but I did ruin the inside with the suction cups I put on years ago. But I could also repaint the inside to match with a shiny olive green. So let's look at your guys' comments. Oh, and I found some caps for him at the store. I haven't bought them yet, but I found them online. And my wife's going to go there in a couple days and get the caps, so we should have some fun there. I use that brand and it sticks okay. I have yet to find a good sealant that doesn't make it sticky though. Oh, that's not good. Fellow Orcs and Goblins color 8 paint set. Yep. Mix in some brown. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Have you ever watched Bob Ross oil painter? I have many times. Oh, David, that stinks. You missed out on the deluxe He-Man. I'm sorry, man. Hey, Alf, you've only made it to a live show. Eric, I did not see your 3 comics yet. Sorry, man. I've been gone most of the day. I haven't looked at hardly anything online. From my last video to now, I just got back. Let's see. All right. Hey, Trapjaw72. All right. Hey, Padawan. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. He said, I've learned so much about these action figures from watching you. Thanks, bro. You're welcome, man. Do Mondos usually release the same figure with less articulation or accessories later on? That's a good question. I know they have released a whole bunch of Skeletors in the past with different, versions. So I don't know. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I think the floor is pretty cool looking too. I just got to make sure I don't destroy it before I send it off to Jinx. Oh, Jinx, good news. If you are online watching me, I got the boxes today. I just made one a few minutes ago. And they do fit. So we'll have to talk, and then I'll mail you off this floor. And then after the floor gets mailed to Jinx, we'll see what it's like at the post office, mailing them in giant pizza boxes. I actually bought some white plain pizza boxes to mail them in. To save on shipping, so they're relatively thin, and we shall see what it's like to mail them. And once I get the first one mailed, I will then tell you guys the prices, because I want to make sure I'm able to mail them without a problem. So, and Jinx, if you're not online, I'm sure you'll watch this video later. Just send me a message. Let me see if he said something. Let's see. Sparkle Wolf 404 is mentioning some time ago about making a Battle Lion from Master Battle Lion. Has there been any progress on that? I've been curious since you mentioned it. No, I haven't done anything else with it. All I've done so far is I've taken this poor Battle Lion and split his head open so I can get access to it. I've already scanned in. I know this is actually Battle Lion. It's Battle Cat. I've actually scanned in Battle Lion's head from Classics, and it came out really good. So I have to make the internal mechanism pieces. You can see them there. Just this basically right here. Just like I did for my Cringer. So it's the same type of setup that Cringer has when I had to make the insert so it would go on there. So I just had to make that same type of deal on the other cat's head, but it's just not a high priority right now. I've been working on these floors like crazy and other projects. That looks kind of creepy. Kind of looks like some kind of weird faker mechanical cat. Ugh. So that's all I've done so far, is just see if I can get his head off, and then I'll have to measure that piece that's on his head and fix that. All right. That is all that I have. Doesn't have a brain. Hey, Rick's back. Didn't the vintage weigh a lot? All right. You mean the vintage action figures? I mean, they are a little heavier than the Origins. Not a lot though. Of course, he has metal inside of him. Let me grab a vintage figure. Ooh. I don't know. They weigh about the same. Actually, you know what? I think the Origins do weigh a little more. Actually, they do. They feel like they weigh just a tad little bit. Okay, it's time to grab the scale and see. Alright, so this is actually Fisto's body from 1983, and He-Man's head, and of course the weapons pack armor, and he weighs 3.2 ounces. 3.2 ounces, and he weighs 3.2 ounces. So if there is a difference, it's really slight. Let's add the sword. 2.3. 2.2. So he is a little heavier because with the sword it's 2.3. Oh, now it's 2.2 also. Well, let's add the thing of paint too. Okay, that puts it at 2.3. No, 3.3. Whoa. Yeah, they're pretty comparable in weight. So there you go. They're just about the same weight, but I'm surprised because this actually feels a little heavier. Maybe it's just because he's, I don't know. I'm not sure why he feels heavier. Maybe it's because his torso is heavier and his legs are heavier. That's probably what it is. All right. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I realize the sorceress cannot sit in the throne because of her wings. It's like, oh, come on. So I had to make her stand in the throne. See you guys.